I'm gonna read A Wish in the Dark by Christina Suntrumbat. Chapter 1. A monster of mango tree grew in the courtyard of Namwon prison. Its fluffy green branches stretched across the cracked cement and hung over the soupy brown water of the Chatana River. The women inmates spent most of their days sheltered under the shade of this tree while the boats plied up and down and up again on the other side of the prison gate. The dozen children who lived in Namwon also spent most of their days lying in the shade, but not in mango season. In mango season, the tree dangled green drops on heaven overhead, swaying just out of reach. It drove the kids nuts. They shouted at the mangoes. They chucked pieces of broken cement at them, trying to knock them down. And when the mangoes refused to fall, the children cried, stomped their bare feet, and collapsed in frustration on the ground. Pong never joined them. Instead, he sat against the tree's trunk, hand across behind his head. He looked like he was sleeping, but actually he was paying attention. Pong had been paying attention to the trees for weeks. He knew which mangoes had started ripening first. He noticed when the fruit lightened from lizard skin green to pumpkin rind yellow. He watched the ants crawl across the mangoes, and he knew where they paused to sniff the sugar inside. Pong looked at his friend Somkit and gave him a short nod. Somkit wasn't shouting at the mangoes either. He was sitting under the branch that Pong had told him to sit under, waiting. Somkit had been waiting an hour, and he'd wait for hours more if he had to, because the most important thing to wait for in Namwon were the mangoes. He and Pong were both 9 years old, both orphans. Somkit was a head shorter than Pong and skinny even for a prisoner. He had wide, round face, and the other kids teased him that he looked like those grilled rice balls on sticks that old ladies sold from their boats. Like many of the women at Namwon, their mothers had been sent there because they had been caught stealing. Both their mothers had died in childbirth, though from the stories the other women still told, Somkit's birth had been more memorable and involved feet showing up where a head was supposed to be. Pong wagged his finger at his friend to get him to scoot to the left. A little more, a little more. There, finally, after all that waiting, Pong heard the soft pop of mango stem. He gasped and smiled as the first mango of the season dropped straight into Somkit's waiting arms. But before Pong could join his friend and share their triumph, two older girls noticed that Somkit held in his hands. "Hey, did you see that?" said one of the girls, propping herself up on her knobby elbows. "Sure did," said the another, cracking scat-covered knuckles. "Hey, Skin and Bones," she called to Somkin. "What do you got for me today?" "Uh-oh," said Somkit, cradling the mango in one hand and bracing himself to stand up with the other. He was useless in the fight, which meant that everyone liked fighting him the most. and he couldn't run more than a few steps without coughing, which meant the fights usually end badly. Pong turned toward the guards who were leaning against the wall behind him, looking almost as bored with life in Namwan and prisoners were. "Excuse me, ma'am," said Pong, bowing to the first guard. She suckled on her teeth and slowly lifted one eyebrow. "Ma'am, it's those girls," said Pong. "I think they're going to make—" "And what do you want me to do about it?" she snapped. You kids need to learn to take care of yourselves." The other guard snorted. "Might be good for you to get kicked around a little. Toughen you up." A hot, angry feeling fluttered inside Pong's chest. Of course the guards wouldn't help. Where did they ever? He looked at the women prisoners. They stared back at him with flat, resigned eyes. They were far past caring about one miserable mango. Pong turned away from them and hurried back to his friend. The girls approached Sunkit slowly, savoring the coming brawl. "Quick, climb on," he said, dropping to one knee. "What?" said Sunkit. "Just get on." "Oh man, I know how this is gonna turn out," grumbled Sunkit as he climbed onto Pong's back, still clutching the mango. Pong knew too, but it couldn't be helped, because while Pong was better than anyone at paying attention and almost as good at some kid at waiting, he was terrible at ignoring when things weren't fair. And the most important thing to do in Naman was to forget about life being fair. "Where do you think you're going?" asked the knobby elbowed girl as she strode toward them. "We caught this mango fair and square," said Pong, backing himself and Sunkit away. "You sure did," said her scab-knuckled friend. "And if you hand it over right now, we'll only punch you once each, fair and square." "Just do it," whispered Sunkit. "It's not worth." "You don't deserve it just because you want it," said Pong firmly. "And you are not taking it from us." "Is that right?" said the girls. "Oh man," Sunkit sighed. "Here we go." The girls shrieked and Pong took off. They chased him as he galloped around and around the courtyard, with Sunkit clinging onto his back like a baby monkey. "You can never just let things go," Sunkit shouted. "We can't let them have it," panted Pong. "It's ours." He dodged around clumps of smaller children who watched gleefully, relieved not to be the ones about to get the life pummeled out of them. "So what? A mango isn't worth getting beat up over." Some kid looked over his shoulder. "Go faster, man. They're going to catch us." The guards leaning against the wall laughed as they watched the chase. "Go on, girls, get them," said one. "Not yet, though," said the other guard. "This is the best entertainment we've had all week. I'm getting tired." Pong huffed. "You better eat that thing before I collapse." While mango juice dripped down the back of Pong's neck and Sunkit tore into the fruit with his teeth. "Oh man, I was wrong. This is worth getting beat up over." Sunkit reached over his friend's shoulder and stuck a plug of mango into the corner of Pong's mouth. It was ripe and sweet. Not stringy yet. Parasite.